laid. We saw, of course, that OG result. fnatic going to be looking to shake that off up against MIBR.
Yeah, and I like the conversation. If MIBR get fired up, they're playing aggressive Counter-Strike like we saw yesterday against Greyhound here. It could rattle fnatic, so it's about withstanding the onslaught. The difference here for MIBR is this time round they'll be starting on the T side of their map choice. U2 over towards A. nicoodoz having a look and being caught out of position. He's down already, and Sunny will take him.
Yeah, let's see what Roy can do with the Julie. He's hard to track, but still pops 3 on the Julie. Henny down and out, and MIBR after that first pick onto nicoodoz also got nothing to celebrate. Exit perhaps could be a conversation. Oh, Insani. We know he's no slouch on the pistol. Saw a crazy MIBR approach, and it starts with a flank like that. Now we see another in the feed. Insani gets one. Exit another. And now a 2-on-2. Sure, the bomb was lost on Gap. There's the flash. They've opted to fight ramp instead. Does limit Exit's options, but the bomb can be retrieved. At least they can consider it. Still posted for the angle. Sani taking his team out of trouble again. First land, but you wouldn't know it when you look at him play. mezii holding that bomb with 40 seconds to go, and now all onto Exit. Nice hold, well recovered. fnatic hold on.
Good pistol there, and the Julie's doing an awful lot of work. 5, that's an ace for Roy, so you'll take those. It was a little bit more split out, Roy. If you can do it next time, all at the same time, it'll make a frag movie. This way, the editors, they've got to cut it together. It doesn't look as flashy, but still a very good round. He's locked things down. Look at him, beautiful. The Julie's just you have to enjoy the price point change, seeing him a little bit more. You know, we always get a couple of new things, don't we? Now, I guess we're gonna talk to our boy. Oh, he's fixed it. I was gonna have to call our boy Rushley out. But he's fixed it. I can see his name correctly now, so we've sanitized the player names. And Roy, with all 6 kills so far for fnatic.
I swear it's always the new boys. Like every 18
Why are they always muted?
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing in their matchmaking games, or people are just spam reporting them, but oh, nicoodoz has got 4. There you go. That's going to be a nice start. We talked and brought up his stats in comparison to, you know, prior to OG and that matchup. And you can see that there was just certainly an absence from the fnatic AWP of Copenhagen Flame fame.
Copenhagen Flame fame.
Bring in the pain.
We were talking to James earlier today.
Yeah.
We saw the big man himself.
Oh, and his jacket is insane.
Yeah, well, he does walk around like a god among men, doesn't he?
He floats. I never see him take steps. It's just float.
Well, that was a Fico, and not the player. A full eco in the previous. Out towards A, quickly the guns are up. The pressure on. Insani, that's an opener. Roy down in the dirt.
Oh, you saw the perfect timing on that flash peek as well. Like, Roy had vision, and then he didn't. Immediately deleted, and Sani posts another, and an impactful opener here in the first gun round. I say guns, of course, fnatic operating with 3 SMGs, a UMP to surprise us all, and KRIMZ supported by nicoodoz. Oh, he's looking away, faffing with nades. He needs 1 and gets just enough, but 2v4. Exit with the trade.
I feel like that hurts more than getting caught as pulling a nade out, dropping one to your teammates, so you both come sinking down as Exit. He's going to make sure that the flank not possible here. The rest of his team can make their way in towards A. Fasher, he's even given them all of this real estate. So Insani continues to search, but as we can see, X-Ray, our lovely little friend here, securing the A bomb site very, very easy. And it should be first blood for MIBR posting around on the board. But it is great to see this kid. We've got him in the pip right here. It's a name that I'm not too sure anybody was really familiar with. Joining from the Academy roster.
Yeah, and I mean, I just feels like he's been making hay while the sun shines. You know, he's been given this opportunity out of the Academy roster, and he's just running with it, refusing to throw it away or to be looking back with regrets as to how he approached it.
I think the Breno conversation was quite similar as well. When he first got the call-up, it was as a stand-in, and then he was able to make his way into the team full-time. And they're both aggressive riflers, which is exactly what they lost with Cello and Jota, right? The way that those two played that A ramp on Vertigo on the CT side is exactly, well, I don't want to say exactly, right? But they definitely had a similar playstyle of being hyper-aggressive, dropping down.
I've always wanted to see that kill. Okay. mezii actually delivers.
Cheeky there from mezii. That's going to be a tidy one to get things started. So a bit of a freebie onto the low Insani right there, trying to save on the ledge. You wouldn't be too frustrated with that. All right, mezii, we'll give you that one, and we might catch it again on the replay here.
Oh, man. Right into the backpack and the booty, or the nade for good measure, just to make it even look a little cooler. There you have a nice one back. And of course, you know, it was just those SMGs. They will be bringing out that AK-47 as well as, of course, nicoodoz bringing out that Zoom banger. The first we'll see today.
Was highlighted on the desk, right? nicoodoz needing to find impact with that AWP, especially against OG, who are doing quite contact-heavy plays, as the desk prefaced it. But Fasher with a bit of space here. Committed for now. Does have the support of Roy. But just waiting out this early U2. MIBR don't want to have the early jaunt, not pushing forward, but nades exchanged over towards B. KRIMZ under a little bit of pressure here. But they forced out so much util from the CTs here. And look at this from Turtle, prying over the smoke. Nobody overstepping the mark just yet.
And it is going to be Fasher to fall. They were trying this forward position. Turtle activates a pick on A, hoping there's going to be a little bit of a reshaping of fnatic's defense and he can leap through the gap.
They can park him here and seesaw with this. So if they wanted to fall back and try to execute B, he can either pounce or, yeah, well, it's going to be the B option. Don't worry about the or. We'll just worry about
one
the
smoke.
and.
There will be options for this defense. It's up to this first duel. Will Turtle break into the site? Doesn't look good. KRIMZ has done well. Takes him down. Fresh mag found. Here comes the commit. Swinging through. nicoodoz trying to provide aid. He's already lost KRIMZ and mezii sprayed on down. Insani and Breno. Hawker was trying to tell me the full pronunciation again. I just can't.
Why did you bother?
I know.
That's not worth it.
No.
Breno's fine with us calling him Breno.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah. So nicoodoz and that of Roy holding onto their goodies here. But Turtle's extra space, that is the reason they were able to get away with this call. Sure, he didn't get the entry, but the follow-through was there. Able to apply that pressure.
And the contact just came a little quicker than fnatic would be anticipating.
Yeah, well, the fact they were able to deal with that first one, yeah, but then the second wave, it was a little bit more disjointed, caught them off guard. The util really pressing, and it's going to be 2-2. So this is positive signs early for MIBR. Right, we mentioned the fact that they just absolutely blew Greyhound out of the water on the CT side, and we didn't really need to see too much of their T-half, but so far, so good.
3 casualties in 2 rounds in the first gun round. Worked wonderfully for them. Bomb down as well. Victorious and looking rather vicious. You can see these picks. Insani POV as well. Breno with 2. Not only the opener, but the closer as well.
Yeah, I love how fired up they get as well here, right? It's great to be able to see the faces and we'll hopefully hear the screams.
One day.
The technology is there.
Emerging technology.
Maybe the AI will sort it out.
Oh, it's all AI these days.
Just have to avoid this AWP and the rifle, and that's a little run boost.
Okay, does he go wide on this? Now, there is a gap, and it is enough for nicoodoz to put his name in the feed, and likely he's ready for Henny. He does catch one into the left pit. Henny alive and kicking, but warded off of an active duel. He'll have to just housekeep ramp as his team try and forge a path into B. Stack nades look like destined for a warning. Fasher's going to be screaming 2B minimum. And the weaponry of this B defense, suboptimal. You can see nicoodoz and Roy with the save rifles. No one in position to really provide support. MIBR have made the right call.
Still plenty of time for this one to go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you do walk into nicoodoz, it could get interesting. This is the opener. So they know the AWP was ramped, but do you assume it's repositioned?
Well, I think if you're expecting the save, right, you're going to expect, exactly you said, the AWP to continue to move around, but just posting him up. Now they're going to flash him off the line, steps out, misses. Now the AWP is noted. They need to apply pressure here because the rotation very far away. mezii's flank.
I like that.
It's
Info.
not extremely potent, right? Info, sure, he can't do a lot of damage, so he needs to hope that nicoodoz and Roy can get the job done.
Yeah, at least it means that the rest can join into the stack. Spotted out on elevator. nicoodoz, another connection. He had to step up and is doing so here in our 6th round. 20 seconds, misses the shot over the box. Exposed and eliminated. Insani does a lot. Still they have to plant. KRIMZ can disrupt and does so. Body shots into exit, leaves it all on Henny. No time to get that bomb down, never mind. With 3 breathing down the back of his neck. He's gonna have to run or die. Yeah, he opts for the latter. Nice find, fnatic, not only with the round, but managing to hold on with only 2 rifles in.
Yeah, that's a really nice round to win right there, and that's impact from nicoodoz, right? He made things very awkward. The pick is great, but the fact that he was able to stay alive, reposition, and find another is fantastic. I thought thinking on his toes right here in Sunny, you can see they dropped that limp smoke into the site instead of the standard left-right because they know where it is, up and over the box. Able to pick up that kill, but yeah, just playing behind the smoke is KRIMZ. What a nuisance. The final one for mezii with that USP. So do have the goods to carry forward. Turtle now is moving to round number 6, dropping out that gap smoke. Looks like a bit more pressure towards A here. Util lob towards the ramp, but no bodies behind it. Well, Fasher's called the bluff. If they continue to push forward here, the B defender of mezii should be getting a whole bunch of info that they might be coming his way.
Does seem like Fnatic have had a team talk after that OG game in the sense of let's take some, intuitive gambles. Let's take some info plays. Let's have a bit more pep in our step. Just throwing caution to the wind. Getting a whole lot of info off the back of it. Fasha happy with that, and so is his team. You can see KRIMZ can smoke the stairs. Might be in time. Turtle's having a go. mezii spots him out. Here comes the Exec. Flames, flashes, and frags all in favor of MIBR. Henny will get one on the Tech 9, and yeah, good luck, have fun. The bomb not down, but a tough one to get back into. nicoodoz has actually managed to walk in. Where was the bodyguard? He's safe from the boost, and just as I say that, Breno does get caught out by it. They'll dismount, and it does seem like they will retreat. Fnatic not interested in a 2 versus 4.
But 2 of the rounds so far from MIBR, they've been able to execute into B, right, quite efficiently. So that could be a bit of a weak spot here, and there's a few ways that Fnatic can try and address this, but it will traditionally start with 2 players being a bit more aggressive over towards that lobby. If nicoodoz can get a spawn with the AWP, that's a great way to get him to take a pick as well, and you push a player down, you burrow him in. You can sit towards the base of the stairs and try and trade out as many as possible, and that will make these type of executes a whole lot less potent. But good work on the way in there from MIBR. A little bit early on some of the nade usage from Fnatic once they took the site. They had 2 HEs. If they'd waited together, waited for the plant noise, tried to drop them simultaneously, could have disrupted the plant. But all in all, it was a pretty flustered round, so you can understand exactly why it unfolds like this, but Turtle with a very nice shot there, just controlling that spray on the way through onto KRIMZ, and the util really doing the work on the mezii. You can see him burning away there as well as Henny just finishes him off with that Tech 9. And it's good to see if Henny can find a team to get back into relevancy, right? This guy, when he was in Furia during the online era, they just felt unstoppable. You had this amazing clutch factor of Henny on the AWP. You also had Art picking it up and doing secondary roles, but Henny was never really aggressive with it, and he didn't need to be. He was clutch, right? They call him the alligator. He's right here in the... Yeah, look, this guy here has been in a major grand final. Didn't pick it up, right? But he's been all the way. And we've seen him on our screens for many years now, and it was pretty tragic to see what happened with the whole Furia story. Because if he stayed with that team, who knows what would have been possible. Right. But now I think, and I like what Yanko was talking about with Joda and Cello, yo, if these guys want to leave, get them out. We'll pick up a couple of young blood who want to really get stuck in Breno and Insani, and we're already seeing some good results. Yeah. And look at the change. KRIMZ has brought out the AWP over towards B. It's not on nicoodoz. There's the opening kill over towards that B site for that space. So a good adjustment here from Fnatic.
That's a cheeky call and an effective one. Breno trying to forge a path up. nicoodoz is going to be looking to stand and bang, and sticking around. Does have some support in the form.
Heard that. He heard that.
Breno adjusted into. Nice hold, and Fnatic, they've got a lot of bodies here, but nicoodoz is going to go down on retreat. So it was a 2-man discrepancy, now only the 1. By virtue of Insani, 7 frags to his name, bomb on his back and a molly in his face. He'll have to wait. As Roy, Fasha, and KRIMZ all start to once again return to a forward setup over the smoke, punish, but back from Roy. Insani should have him dead to rights, and this fight was important. Bomb and KRIMZ a second on that AWP. No slouch on it.
Look at the development of KRIMZ though, right? This guy just used to be a rock rifler, known for his key plays and connector on Mirage, just being an anchor for Fnatic for all those years. But now, AWPing on Vertigo and finding impact here in a key gun round.
Yeah, that's cool. You do have to keep evolving, otherwise those new plucky upstarts in the form of MIBR or otherwise will...
Big damage.
Yeah, no armor. He felt the wrath of that nade, a 1v2. Should be sprayed down after the fact, and KRIMZ will make it 3. Not afraid, despite the low HP, for Fnatic. And there's a nice change-up. You get break up the MIBR run.
Well, we did talk about the AWP, and I thought maybe they would do it with nicoodoz and the spawn, but no, they did it with KRIMZ, right? So more than happy to pick up the big green and get 3 kills in this round of play. There it is again. Lovely on slow-mo. And the cash situation for MIBR, that plant, that would have been great, but still, they can get out a couple of AK-47s, some upgraded pistols, and try and keep the pressure on, because Fnatic, they're in a few financial woes as well. Check out the Famis on KRIMZ. He's donated that all.
No early deaths here. They are still trying aggressive maneuvers. Fasha spots one out and finishes the job. Wow, fully blind, still manages to convert on the spray. You want to talk about financial woes? Yeah, these Tech 9s and Deagles can be feeling a little more helpless, operating at a disadvantage.
Especially because they didn't get any space here, and they used some util to try and get ramp control, so now it's going to be a bit more dry fights on the T side. CTs have the util advantage, the weapon advantage, and apparently the confidence advantage here as well.
You've got the man advantage, fellas. They're desperate for a way back into it.
I think it's mainly to free up that rotating player of nicoodoz right now, because he's parked, not really doing anything towards Crane. If they know that they have ramp and yellow, okay, now we can set him free. He can help mid, he can help B.
They don't have the answers yet.
And they will soon.
Who dares jiggle first? His eyes on one. It's Insani into the ramp fight. Takes down the AWP with ease. AK in his hands.
Now they've all got AKs.
On the
Look at that.
Yeah, that works out nicely. Roy back onto Insani. Stops it in its tracks. Fasha set for success. Turtle spins on a dime. Bomb down, but down to the flames in the process. A 2 versus 2. This is going to get interesting.
As he has a smoke for the bomb, but exits in the power position of Sandbag right here. This is key.
Penny, perfect timing on that fight. Mezii, just as he emerged, is taken down by the AWP. Gets very uncomfortable for KRIMZ. Smoke kit, as you mentioned, not easy. If he can isolate exit, Henny going to struggle with that, stopping that defuse. So Sandbags, AWP short, no time. KRIMZ will take something a little bigger. The M4 works nicely and concede. So yeah, highly competitive start to Vertigo.
Yeah, just back and forth throughout these first 8 rounds of play here. You can understand, as I mentioned, exit in a power position. Unless you have a molly in that position to flush him out, there's not a whole lot you can do about the Sandbag player unless he's just going to keep his head tucked. You have to tap the bomb. He just sits chilling.
I'm just putting myself in nicoodoz' shoes as well. Like, it went from 0 to 100 so quick just because of that person slipped up tight left.
I think they thought they had cleared out the hard right. So the fact that that creep up happened, that would have been potentially a bit of a jump scare moment right there, because he could also try and scope down that gap. So a good opening from Insani here after they'd given up that initial death. And a bit frustrating for nicoodoz.
Well, it certainly felt like that was their round up until that death. I can understand why you feel a bit responsible and beat yourself up about it.
This is a break point in the game right here, so you can see why the timeout has been taken to discuss this one saved M4. The financial, here it is. Nice little replay, just pops up his head and nicoodoz loses his.
That's when your whole body just tenses up in a moment.
But this is interesting. It looks like fnatic aren't going to full buy here. So they've almost gone for the full buy. And on your screens, you can see
not bad T-half.
IHC. If you want to check that out, you know where to find it.
6 rounds or IHC already.
But interesting, this isn't the full investment. If fnatic don't win this, this is going to sound silly as I say this, but then they'll be on another like partial next round, just with where the loss bonus is currently at. You can only
it's going to be like a double dip of pistol.
Exactly, right? So they're trying to be threatening, and then they'll try and be threatening again.
As opposed to having one completely unthreatening and one slightly.
Yeah, so the key here is just to make sure they get to a full gun round at some point. That's a little bit threatening. A nice shot there from Roy. He will burn to, I believe, Henny through that from the forklift room. We do see that coming into a bit of popularity. They just need to really avoid KRIMZ getting a multi-kill on this M4, and it should be their round. And Turtle now taking this space off that opening kill should signal the return back to A. They have one smoke. They might not even need it.
The CT side does remain very dynamic. It must be
Ash is dead.
In order to keep track of where this defense may reside. Yeah, rifle recovered for nicoodoz. 2 in play.
Okay.
KRIMZ takes down Insani. Now things do get a little extra interesting.
Yeah, there's still that kit on KRIMZ, and they can pick up that other rifle. So everybody equipped right now. fnatic might want to give this one a look in.
Yeah, but who's going to be the one to open the door to this round? Slow crawl down.
That's the kit going around the world. If he dies on the flank,
which he will,
the round's done.
I mean, Exit could not be better positioned for this. And yeah, the round does conclude.
Yeah, I think the penny just dropped as well there, that was our chance back in, as well as the defuse kit to make things a little bit easier. But now we can have a conversation about what the buy might look like into the preceding rounds here. Because before it would have just been a few deagles again. Well, it still can be a few deagles, but it can be an M4 and an AK, or maybe, just maybe, mezii made the executive to go for chunkier purchases. It wouldn't be advised unless they wanted to drop some FAMI, but everyone loves the FAMAS. You all at home know the FAMAS is definitely... look, I had a teammate once upon a time, Azza. He said that the UMP, he'd rather have the UMP than the FAMAS. And then we 1v1'd, and his aim was always much better than mine. I was the in-game leader, and he beat me with a UMP versus a FAMAS.
On an aim map?
An aim map, yeah.
Bloody hell.
It was like aim map USP or something. I had the real case of in-game leader brain back then.
Were you staring at your minimap in the 1v1?
I'm just running around every corner with a nade in my hand, you know, micromanaging. Never.
Oh, there you go. Roy has his brains completely removed, a involuntary lobotomy, courtesy of Henny.
What's the one in Egypt where they pull the brain out through the nose?
That was mummification.
I see. Well, we can do something with that on Anubis if we get there again.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This is exciting for one reason, and that reason is nicoodoz 8K, last man standing, and 3 just ready to greet him with hot lead. Mezii with that saved M4 was detached from the pack, finds himself up against the full 5-man MIBR squad.
We'll say 6 on the T side already is very, very good for the Brazilians here. They're playing some inspired Counter-Strike. I think yesterday they were just able to beat down on the little kid in the schoolyard of Greyhound, right? There was that comeback, that 7-round spree. I know Vexite had a big clutch during all of that, but once they made it to Vertigo the third, MIBR just had a team talk and said, hold up a second. We're better than these guys? Should we just shoot them? And then they continue just to run at them. And that's why I'm curious to see what MIBR's CT side will look like. I'm not sure they'll be as brazen in their approach, but they definitely show that the individuals have the aim and the caliber just to shoot heads.
It's done well to find anything off of that. It was Henny as well, but yeah, Mezii's being hunted down. Exit with his deer stalker on. Has solved the mystery. 6-2-4, as you said, 6 T rounds already. And yeah, I was looking at the map stats. It seems like Vertigo does seem to be very much a home map for these boys. Very comfortable.
Yeah, it felt like the video was pretty clear today. I think I didn't take into consideration the order of who's going to veto, who's going to ban first, who's going to pick first. So it was between Inferno and Nuke as the third. But I thought that MIBR would have wanted to take it towards Nuke. Apparently not. They were the ones who removed it from the veto, if I remember rightly. I can check it out. I got it right here. Yeah, MIBR removed it, and I think they knew that fnatic would take out Ancient. So they end up on Inferno, if we get there.
No, well, it's just... Ooh, it might not be anymore.
No.
Reno, Turtle. Oh! fnatic have done a lot, over 160 damage, maths. Well, thereabouts. From a safe distance.
Makes sense that they wanted to return to B, right? We discussed the success that they had there earlier, and it was against the more gun rounds. The last 2 they had were against pistols, so the lighter options being swept away, but this one will be very, very difficult, and fnatic should be setting themselves up for another round to play here, and Sandy's hoping they don't drop off the map. I'm going to go keep an eye on those. Let's make sure they stay put.
Yeah, we do need to just kind of dip all of our utility in PVA glue so they stay where you put them.
It looked like Insanity was pretty confident, so that means that Exit will be able to throw a fake that makes it seem like it's more than just one man as the rest of his team starts to congregate elsewhere, and, well, that's going to kick off now.
Mezii might call it rather clear. He's going to be moving his mouth a lot here. Only one, lads. Only one. Batten down the hatches on A. Roy and nicoodoz will go and look, but it could be misinformation. It's through mid. Fasha confirms presence. We'll give it to them. Concedes as they lose the prong from B stairs. There is going to have to be just 3 now, all congregate into middle and trying to make something happen in just 30 seconds. Someone has to mess up from fnatic. nicoodoz on this off angle. And he's worked it out nicely. Insani down. Options running thin. It does seem like MIBR's only option is to try and maintain these weapons.
Okay, and Cash starting to get a little bit light on some members. Henny, one of those names, especially $50 to his name, so he definitely needs to stay alive here, but everybody else should be fine into the next rounds of play. And you can see them identifying that, hey, we need to try and split here towards CT spawn or towards A, because I think they realized that B was pretty heavily fortified with that flash forward of the Mezii fight and also the immediate contact taken in middle. So they identified the scenario there, MIBR, but fnatic will scoop up their 5th rounds and hope to turn that into a bit of a spree. It's been a bit spotty for fnatic, pistol and conversion, but the conversion was against a full eco, and since then, well, it has been looking a bit hotter for the Brazilians. Definitely not outside, lots of snow. Hope everybody brought their jackets and gloves and beanies.
Reno's trying his luck and they, okay, fully flashed out the smoke, still Insani provides a trade. Just got that premonition, he can visualize where he needs to put that crosshair. Roy, wise to fall out, doesn't want to be giving up an advantage now.
But look what they've traded here, right? So as far as the util goes, we call it the Nafany smoke, but 2 of those have been deployed, and CTs have used 2 smokes of their own to negate the push. So right now, they've burnt well, let's say 40 seconds of smokes, and that means the CTs have cancelled out any of the T's moves to take this space. So they don't feel pressure just yet, and now that will start to sink in.
Yeah, well, pressure is Insani's middle name. See when he can build upon that, seems to thrive with it on his shoulders, at least upon arrivals here. Just started with the pedal to the metal. Now, this is another Fnatic defensive initiative.
And they have to, because they don't have any B info right now. That defensive flash that was just thrown is all a bit of a ruse here. They're playing retake A. They don't really have a whole lot of utility to stop this push. We can't see a molly to stop the plant, and that looks like a deep smoke towards elevator, so this would be a fight on the site.
Ooh, Roy's safe, but likely cleared if they've got their flight paths ironed out. It's Turtle, the first contact swung on now. Need the battle to be won. Fnatic. They somehow bail Roy out. How has he gotten away with that? Gets two. Mollied out, flashbanged into a corner, and still heart beating, and albeit hanging on by a thread.
Very well handled from Fnatic there. In fact, they had so many bodies being able to fight from the sniper deck. That must have been well comm that it was a deep elevator smoke. They'd rotate into position. The proactive maneuvers were able to set them up for success. And now Henny hoping to hide. Can't go down after time here. Henny's gonna... timing, and survives. Ooh, that's when you really let out a sigh of relief in that situation. You're very clenched in that moment.
$50, Chad, is all he had.
Exactly.
If he had died after time, my goodness, okay. The audacity to even take a shot. What? At that point, I'm just staring at the sandbags and praying.
Yeah, and I think this is really good work here from Roy, right? This is an impact round right here. The fact that he doesn't wince, he doesn't, swing out wide, just sits behind the flames, even while flashed. He could have gone down quite easily there, but stuck to his guns and picks up 2 big kills.
Yeah, Roy's been a master of this ramp so far for Fnatic. Good pistol on it now with the rifle as well. There's more nade damage. We'll check in on utility at the end of the half. Definitely feels like it's been a potent few rounds with their HE stacks. Well placed. That's brave, but gets the information, forces the shot. Insani loves this crawl. He loves this crawl. He wants to profit upon it. The molly will stop it.
Sandbag one way here from nicoodoz. They tried to use this before. Got picked apart. They looked over it. You can also use it and look under it. Just removing a couple of angles of play here. And you can see Henny, everyone's so aware of this one way at this point. If anybody was to walk into that, they'd cop that bullet, they'd go down. But to stall them out, it's definitely working. So if that's what the objective is, job done. And back and forth they go here. I said MIBR would be happy with 6 already, but if you go into halftime 9-6, you're going to feel a bit deflated not getting any more rounds on the tail end of this lead.
Feels like Fnatic are taking very, very informed stacks. Again, they've got 3 people here. Fasha, KRIMZ, able to respond. Mezii playing on this quad position. He's not been Molotov'd out, but Jesus, take the duel all the same. That gives them the opening. Insani again finds his name in the feed. They are battered, they are bruised. Fasha could be a bit of a nuisance as he looks to disrupt. Crosshair in the wrong place. Exit takes him, and it looks like MIBR will make that 6 a 7. And again on the B side, they've been having a great deal of success over here.
Yeah, and you bang on, right? The fact that they're able to enter into that site, they don't molly mezii out of position, but he steps forward first. I guess it's off of a team play, but just not connecting the dots there. The attention wasn't drawn, he just stepped right out into his death. And because of the back and forth nature of this game, that's why we've seen a few more saves. And both teams have definitely been saving it. So here it is, you can see him step forward. No one else really able to take that contact. And a good job cleaning house. So you can see why MIBR like returning to this bomb site.
And oftentimes that quad position can, especially with the amount of time that was there, can function as just a frustration that you haven't cleared it. You haven't had the molly, he could be there, and it really limits the fights and the conviction you can have in your other duels.
I guess another side of this is him as the in-game leader of the team wanting to step out and get some info to make sure it is the B play.
Yeah, he knows his boys don't know and would love to be able to tell them.
Yeah, just make sure there's no over-rotation there. But it will cost Fnatic. And at this point of the game, they can for sure get out another buy. It looks like another timeout has been called, and this time it's going to be from MIBR. So this is curious. Bit the coach, as we get some Roy highlights here. He's definitely been chomping away throughout this game. 11 kills towards the top of the scoreboard alongside of Insani on the other side.
Yeah, he's been the counterpart. I think those two have definitely been duking it out, whether directly or indirectly. This was a great round as well. You can see the impact he had there. Very, very close up until it wasn't.
I think this is an important timeout, and it makes a lot more sense now when you reflect on the finances of why Bit would have taken this. We've only got 2 rounds left to play. Bit probably informing them, hey, 2 saved rifles, likely to see a pretty decent looking buy here. And if we win this one, they're crushed for the final because in the next round, it's only going to be that 1900. So you win this, maybe you get yourself a 9-6 half on the T side of Vertigo. You'll be feeling great about that going into the halftime break.
Still attainable. See what the call is off the back of the timeout. See, ooh, there's some damage the other way. It's this time Fasha cut down to size early. Operating under half. Looks like they're starting to posture for something out of nicoodoz and Roy. They might want to set them up, or are they just going to swing around this? This is brazen. Hoping to catch some tootsies. That smoke is fading. Flashes are good. That's better. Fasha takes down Insani. A good scalp to take, and Breno could ruin it. Oh, with a double like that. Rude. Up on yellow, double into the X-Flames. Mezii, try as hard as he might. He's going to have to look over that smoke now. Molly will be heading his direction, trying to use that smoke to perhaps disrupt. Forward, flashed, frag, not found. Turtle secures the round. We are up to 8 for MIBR.
And if the conversation was had about the finances, well, it doesn't need to be said. MIBR can press tab, they can see where the loss bonus is at here. They should start chasing KRIMZ. Throw a couple of bodies to try and take this rifle away. Make sure they have nothing going into the final round of the half here. Oh, and KRIMZ, he's just hit the mouse 1 button there. Could have swiped it into the keyboard, could have accidentally been a bit of a press, but either way, he's given up his position. And the Hound's now going to sniff out Blood Turtle to finish off KRIMZ, and they know how much that means. Going into round 15, this could feel like a bit of a freebie. It's only nicoodoz who's going to have a potent rifle here. The rest will just be pistols, maybe MP9s.
Oof, yeah, okay. Well, nicoodoz' chance. We saw fnatic find one with just 2 saved rifles. Can they do one better? Some armor, some deagles, and that M4 for nicoodoz. Great shooting from Breno. The first was necessary, the second was showboating. Run boost for this nicoodoz swing. He goes straight wide and happy to peek and spray over the flames. No one's managed to find him or spot him. Those flames operating as a nice obscure view.
I just got to talk about this multi-kill potential of these 2 new young bloods here, Insani and Breno. They've both had 6 multi-kills apiece.
Eesh.
Where you compare that onto the fnatic side of things, the most we're looking at is Roy and nicoodoz with 2 apiece, right? So these 2 doubling up in rounds has been key to the success of MIBR.
Yeah. Under discussed. Ooh, but the player's capacity for finding 2 when most would find 1. A lot of the new generation, it just becomes instinctual. They know where their teammate would be and how they'd be trying to help them. So that one way down, you have to remain relatively proactive. Roy's called and said, don't see any tootsie toes. The unenviable task of playing this position falls to mezii. So as they come and knock in, we'll see what their protocols dictate, but this is definitely going to be on their flight path. Here we go. And there you go. mezii gets 1 and 2. When most would get none. That's big from the Brit. Henny trying to take that bomb through. Flash to facilitate. Smoke on right side. It will fall to the deagle of KRIMZ on this slither gap if he wants to have a pot shot pre-plant. Okay, Henny's dead too. That's nuts. And fnatic will make it 7 with just a single rifle. This is a game of Counter-Strike, folks. And it's only just begun. This is the first half of the first map, and we have to find out who is going to be joining us at Katowice over in the main event. Let's go and take a quick break. When we do come back, we get to hear... Oh, actually, no, we get to hear it now. fnatic team comms. Let's go.
Walk out, don't step too much, don't step too much. I don't see him. He sees me, or something. One more.
I'm holding out.
Yellow. 2 guys, both.
Nice, ready, last orb.
No.
Sure,
No.
Grab one way through.
Get ready to jump up and I'll get ready to go through.
Yeah, Freddy's 1 HP, 1
Fancy place.
Yeah, nice, boys, nice!
Nice, guys. Sick Freddy.
side now. He's missed the C2, he's made his way to T-Red. Furia are trying to identify the makeup of IHC here. Yuri, did he hear something? Oh my god, that was a big pop from Blitz. And that makes problems even worse for Furia. The 5-7 from Techno's coming through, leaving Drop in a 1v3. How about that for revenge?
That's so cheeky from Techno. I feel like Yuri would have probably called that top hut is completely clear, no need to worry about it. And then as soon as Yuri goes down, Techno comes over the top of top hut. And I think that's why Furia had no clue that was a possibility. You saw KRIMZ didn't even turn around after the first kill came from that position. I think IHC needed a round like this. Getting off to a good start on their CT side. You see KRIMZ never even turns around. Didn't even think that there was any chance there was a player up there. And oh, hello, Safe. Scout headshot already.
This is carnage. This is absolutely carnage. I love it. The action is non-stop. Furia have got the upgraded pistols themselves now. We saw the 5.7s on IHC. We'll see the Desert Eagles for Furia. Gratuitous violence from start to finish here. And this is only the first game of the series. Feels like a game of Mirage the way some of these rounds are going.
Oh, no. Oh. Hart hasn't even looked. He's going to get into heaven.
Oh, excuse me. I think I opened the wrong door. 4 versus 4 now. Spartak goes for the taps. Trying to follow up there. Has he done enough? Score. You just can't find the angle to deploy the grenade. This is chaos. The 180 won't come fast enough now. KRIMZ and 5 HP. Still has a deagle though. That bomb is in the open. That's going to be a big problem. You can see Blitz repositioning. It's going to take a long time to collect that bomb. And once they do, how much time will be left to clear a bomb site and plant it? That has to be a concern at the back of Furia's minds. But they're focusing on trying to find a frag for now.
They're really running this clock low. 20 seconds. I mean, they may get the bomb.
fnatic versus MIBR battling for a spot in the group stage. There's very few seats left at the table, and they managed to get that 7th in the last round of play. It was just Deagles and Kevlar, some great shots out of both mezii and KRIMZ. That's crazy on the Slither gap. And a very competitive half all round. A lot of interesting observations have been made so far.
I need to give a public service announcement here, Alex. The ever-reliable HLTV let me down. I took it as gospel. I've trusted in it for too long. Our gods, I said both Breno and Insania had 6 multi-kills. That's not true at all. Must be a bug on their scoreboard at the moment, because Breno only has 6 kills. And that's if we can trust their scoreboard. But it would be impossible for him to have 6 multi-kills with only 6 kills. So I apologize to everybody I let down, and I would like you all to blame HLTV and a little bit of my negligence. But let's get underway here with round number 16. Dual Berettas are plenty again. MIBR deploying 2 here, the same as fnatic on their CT side. mezii with a smoke and a flash, and out mid, well, the jiggles, they're precise. The space, it is taken, and the attack must be coming.
And the rookie, ready. Ouch. Well, warded off with a nice goosh to the dome, now leaping into the B site, and Turtle, long range, has managed to track down Fasher, one back into the head of Exit. 2 players low. 9 points of health between the 2 of them. Insani needed help. Turtle still with 1 in the feed on those stairs, and it's a 2-on-2. Bomb is down. This is a big duel to win. Turtle gives him a leg up, and nicoodoz, the bomb is down. He knows it's unlikely there's a kit in play. 3 frags out of Turtle in this pistol. Can nicoodoz rip this round away from them? It's not an ideal plant for him. Going for the 10-second defuse. Does actually have a perfect plan. What am I saying? Still, Breno's good for it. It was set up for success. Made sense. The individual's strong, though, and it is Breno with 2. That is a multi-kill.
There you go. So, look.
Is that 1?
Yeah, I'm not even going to bother here at this point. We'll go back and we'll manually do it. I'll get my little munchkins on the job as Turtle, yeah, with the Julies. It's Julies from both pistols here, and both CT sides really doing an awful lot of work.
So that's a plant spot for that.
Yeah, and Turtle just coming up, just munching away here. So some good shooting, but MIBR splitting pistols here. Going to be feeling good about that. And fnatic with the plant, well, they've opted for the forced buy. Galil's aplenty. A scout for good measure. And Fasha with the util behind the deagle now. Breno listening for the steps across the bridge. He knows if he needs to assist. And, whoa, he has to. Insanity again, this aggression.
Oh,
Ding,
whoa.
soon to be dead.
He might think twice about trying that maneuver again. Lucky to be alive. Insani brought incredibly low, and elsewhere, Fasha's just fired off a hand cannon bullet to the B player. He's essentially changed the whole round with one click of his mouse.
Good understanding of the situation. They knew how aggressive the CTs were with that deep forklift utility. The molly, the smoke over towards bridge, and the bomb about to be planted. So MIBR, yeah, about a minute into the round having to save here. So just that single shot from Fasha, that's the round. That's an M4, and that's quite the upgrade. We'll call it 9-8 in favor of the Brazilians still, but fnatic could be on that comeback trail very, very quickly. And we got our answer to would MIBR want to continue this very hyper-aggressive A-ramp style? Yes.
Yeah, no real excitement for the rest of this round. It was essentially a single deagle shot, a beautiful one at that. Turtle, the hero of MIBR's pistol, is the only casualty of fnatic's second round force. In fact, they've even managed to find themselves an M4 as well. Worked out beautifully. Fasha, of course, an interesting conversation. We don't have much Dutch representation in Canada, like a surprisingly few.
We had Chris J here for the longest time, the flying Dutchman. Here's the shot. And that's the round. So thanks for coming. That's Fasha's deagle tutorial. Watch this, body bang. That's a back bend. That's the official term, and this is the head-first 51-story dive.
Does he not get any more rotation? Poor guy could have landed on his feet at least.
Well, timeout called here, and well, last time Bit took one of these, they were able to find some success in the follow-up. Didn't go in their favor for the final and 15th round of that first half, but let's see what they can get done here. Insani could drop a deagle to exit. He could then buy some head armor and some nades. Maybe a 5-7. There's options. The biggest issue is it's... Okay, well, they're able to get an MP9 into his hands. Not too shabby. Not too shabby whatsoever. 4 MP9s and a silenced M4. Walk into round 18.
Let's see if it's a joke. Yeah, 3 players posture towards the ramp position for fnatic. And he does look like he really wants to continue to charge straight on into the face of fnatic. The trajectory makes it clear. And they are just desperate for blood through these smokes before they fade.
So much investment there in terms of utility and bodies, and well, they get away without taking any damage whatsoever. Henny down to 94, that's negligible at best. And staying silent on these CT rotations, so just hoping for a fnatic reaction here, but they've stayed steady. It'll have to be a reinitiate with 4 players over towards A right now. They need to find a kill, but if they show too much leg, fnatic can just rotate over towards mid or B.
Yeah, who's housekeeping this? Nobody actively.
So much wasted utility. Another extinguish on their own molly right there. And they are just posturing towards B. So if the rotation doesn't start to get back now, exit is going to have to flash to try and delay this.
Yeah, they have 0 nade. I mean, 2 flashbangs. And there goes one of them. To very little effect. Exit well for the frag. Roy, though, still with that Galil in the center of the pack. All 4 now encroaching on towards the bomb site. Exit, nearly another. Good damage, significant. Onto mezii, long-range bursts, chipping further at the Dane. nicoodoz down low, but Insani and Breno going to try and hold on to what they've got.
I like this, though. KRIMZ knows that they can take a few liberties here as far as the hunt goes. So at least patrolling and trying to control this mid-corridor right now. I think he heard some steps there on the wood, so should have a good idea, at least where Insani lies, trying to get away from this play. Realistically, just that M4 you'd love to hold on to. Both would be great, but if you can choose one, Breno maybe finding some impact in the follow-up round. Again, this sandbag position being used to save, but it felt like in that round, if you're MIBR, that you were chasing ghosts. Every time you want to take a fight, they weren't there, and then when you went to reinitiate, they didn't even want to take the space. They were just more than happy to... Breno! Yeah, he got spotted and taken out there, so there goes the M4. You can see by the time they had rotated back, they're here to respond to it, but it's already too late. They're out of position. The hits come in before they were ready for it, and they just get peeled apart one at a time.
And just a couple of those flashbangs that were part of that initial A battle could have made a world of difference on those two little MP9 jewels they were taking.
So it's going to feel a bit flat in the MIBR camp at the moment. fnatic should be able to take the lead here. Not too much to worry about.
I like that. Just a move that leads them nowhere. At least the SMG slipped the net. Insani going to at least be featured in fnatic's comms.
Yeah, KRIMZ will be screaming that that is a possibility here, so someone will have to address it. But actually, maybe not. Let's just waltz into A. Let's just have a bit of a field day. nicoodoz removes one, and he wants to remove a couple more, continuing to gallivant forward, peppered through the smoke, but hey, not too much damage. He's going to clear this. He's spotted a whole lot. nicoodoz, yeah, says good night. That'll be the round. 10 in total, double digits first for fnatic, and you know, it is great to see this squad now with a competitive roster here. Some key pieces from the Flames, Roy, and of course nicoodoz. And then you saw that Coach Akita, he came from Complexity. Mezii was all over the shop. I think Cloud9 would have been one of the more fixture names for him. And KRIMZ, well, he's been in fnatic for what feels like forever. But here we go again, the buyout. And MIBR might need a bit of a different approach here.
There's definitely going to be some blood here, and it's already one. Roy splattered. Nades, oof, clatter, fascia, and KRIMZ been tagged up within that one-shot headshot. nicoodoz as well, certainly softened up for these M4s. Will you clear it? Will he? Little toes stick out. The barrel sticks out lethally onto mezii. Fascia will trade. A whole lot more where that came from, though. This is going to be very difficult for fnatic to break. Already wounded, wobbly. And there is Molotovs present. 3. You'd think one might find its way to sandbags.
Not anymore. They've overlooked this for too long. They would have already considered it by now.
It's perfect then. This is the bait. Henny draws attention further. Does Insani take a shot? Looks like he's considering it. Well timed. nicoodoz down. Looking for the double. Can he post another multi-frag? Fascia still a bit of a nuisance. 2 frags to him. KRIMZ the healthiest of the bunch. Molly will be implemented now. Can they build upon it? They certainly can. KRIMZ makes it a 2-on-2. They just want to fight, though. Okay, exit leaves victorious. The only man left in the server at the end of that one.
Almost doubled up there for the death, but instead they're the ones to get the better of that exchange, and they just want to take the fight there. So sure, it wasn't out of the gates of the round, but they were more than happy to consistently throw bodies in fnatic's favor.
This is the lineup we are talking about. God, this whole universe where one of those bullets slows him down. He wasn't healthy either.
And look at what they're by with only one player staying alive. It's going to be supplemented with 2 MP9s here. So the harm part of the battle not done just yet for MIBR. They'll need to win another round here to humble fnatic. And that is still a conversation to be had itself. They have residual cash for yet another buy. So hopefully Bit has been keeping control here of the economy. Or at least tabs on it. I wish he had a bit more control. He'd probably bottom out fnatic every round if he could.
Wow. Oof. How does Turtle actually win out on that exchange? So young eyes.
fnatic going to give it an attempt here on the B execute. Smoke top stairs will stall this out, but I think that also allows you to come on in and start setting this up. If there's no flash for Turtle, he will just have to sit here in the wood position. Exit trying to bait.
I mean, this is awfully difficult.
Yeah.
A double boost. So Turtle...
I think he's screwed.
Yeah, but he might have a chance onto Roy. Like, that's a fight that... Yeah, you see 1 or 2 off, and the trade's immediate from Fascia. And then they can disappear if they desire. For 35 seconds, there will have to be a commitment behind these smokes. They're flying through the air now. nicoodoz, posted. Exit, activates and deactivates by courtesy of that Danish orb. Breno will have a go. Insani only the 1. And whew, Breno kept very honest. Good shots out of the AWPer. Up to 18 now, but 2 very impactful frags that facilitate an 11th.
Positive they saw Henny's toes there as well. You can see the way that mezii reacted to that, so immediately removing himself from the play here. As he's on the most HP, it would be ill-advised if he went down first, because with a bit of a swift breeze, KRIMZ and nicoodoz might follow, but a good round for fnatic to go tit for tat. And this is it, right? This trade was always destined to happen here. Even if Roy goes down, Fash is in the perfect position to punish, and you can see this in the replay highlighted right now. Oh, there he is. And there he goes. But you bang on. I think you really have to post the credit to nicoodoz there. 18 kills in total. The desk definitely discussing the lack of his impact against OG. We're definitely seeing him here in the server today, playing a good style of Counter-Strike against the Brazilians.
Yeah, and this is MIBR's map, the one of which they've played the most in the last 3 months. Obviously, start of the year, those stats can get a bit warped, but a very clear trend towards playing Vertigo. So this is where they should be the most comfortable. On that CT side, and so far just the pistol. And the previous round, that 1v1, we saw exit close, or 1v2, technically, in the blink of an eye.
You see Bit there just wanting to make sure he gets a bit of a look at the scoreboard. Right, teammates in this type of situation should probably just be holding open tab so we can, oh, okay, where are the finances at? What can we afford? What's the loss bonus at? Where are we ready to go to? So a save here and a buy into the next. Most likely outcome of this timeout. Half's not done just yet, but it does feel like fnatic are starting to strangle a bit of control here. Has been back and forth throughout, but this is always going to be hard to close on the T side, especially if MIBR get a bit of momentum behind them, but fnatic have stalled that out for now. Just 2 rounds in total and separate rounds, nothing consecutive for MIBR just yet.
And usually when it feels like a team is starting to have won the battle for supremacy in terms of taking this opponent's map pick, it does sometimes require just one footfall in order to completely disrupt the momentum fnatic seem to have built and be currently rocking with. A flashbang and some USPs. Here come the Mosquitoes. They're swift, and they're a little lethal if you're not careful. mezii fixes up with a double of his own, or rather, yeah, just the 2. Roy confirms presence towards the elevator, and we will see this one just kind of slowly peter out. The potency lost after a flash and go. But yeah, you take a look at this fnatic project, it does feel, for lack of a better word, it feels nice to have fnatic back.
Sure.
As a team we're discussing / talking about. It felt like a long time that such a fabled organization just could not quite get to the stage of tournament where we would see them playing against the very best.
Well, here's the thing, right? Within early CSGO, the orgs didn't put rosters together. The orgs picked up rosters, and then rosters were good, right? They weren't really responsible for a lot of these changes.
Yeah.
I think Devilwalk played a big hand in getting KRIMZ and Olaf onto fnatic, but that's less about the org. That's more about Devilwalk going, hey, this team can be the best in the world. If I'm not playing, I'll coach. You bring in these 2, and we can win. And they definitely did. And that's some of the keys now. Now the orgs have their hands on a bit more. They're chopping and changing players. There's all these different buyouts. It's not as easy just to pick up a team and go, yeah, these guys are good. Right?
And I think the talent scouting thing as well, it's like it's a whole new game. It's a whole new game for just being able to find the next Insani, you know, or whoever it is you want to use as an example. Someone you can plug into an academy system and ensure that they've put some ink on paper that means they're yours.
Yeah, and lots of different reasons for that. Sure, yes, to get them acclimatized with more top-tier Counter-Strike or the direction maybe your main roster is going, but also because buyouts got a little bit crazy there for a while.
Oh, yes, they did.
Right, and if you can make sure they're in your pen and they turn out to be definitely right for the plucking, then it makes a lot of sense. So good to see the chopping and changing and the continued evolution of Counter-Strike, but we are back underway here, and to MIBR have anything to say, are we looking like a quick finish from fnatic?
Go on, Turtle. Oh, pre-aim, Fasher reads him like a book. And an opening provided by the Dutchman once more.
Feels too simple here, doesn't it? Just return to B and execute. Or at least force this rotation and you could head back to the other side. This is where fnatic can really toy with them. They're in no rush. They look like they handle these late to mid-round situations very well. Doesn't look too panicked.
I imagine their comms, as we heard actually, are relatively relaxed. Everyone's on the same page. Singing from that same hymn sheet. Exit will have a little jiggle and gets a whole face full of information. He's keeping him grounded. Unwilling to swing. Nade looks well placed from both sides as oof, damage is done. Ears are ringing. Smoke is out and they can play around that nicely. 45 though, not in a rush. The smokes are down now for fnatic. Theirs will be up longer than the CTs. Still Henny
Calling their bluff here.
lingering on A, but the stack calls the bluff. It's going to get really uncomfortable if you don't find a way in soon. Maybe Fasha use that low HP to initiate. 20 seconds and you've
Problems now.
boozed. Someone's going to have to make a move. We've got one smoke, lads. It's so quiet. It's uncomfortable, but there's the smoke, and now they know they're in the right place. They just have to hit the headshots. 9 seconds, and there's the frag. Breno with 2, Insani with 1, round done. And now nicoodoz could be run on down. He'll take it. He'll take the fights regardless. More survival, a cornered animal. Bites the hardest. He does manage to keep hold of his AWP, but that is an MIBR round.
Very good damage, though. Right, the flow and effects of that are fantastic. Sure, MIBR get that, but you feel like that's more given by the good graces of fnatic, who didn't initiate here for whatever reason. I think they were hoping for a bit of an over-rotation, and that was not to be the case. Henny had the sandbag position the entire time, while they just stalled out and stayed stoic towards this side. But some flashy shots here from nicoodoz, and that is really going to sting. It's going to force a lot of lower weaponry to be bought here for MIBR, while fnatic are sitting pretty in the cash department. Their buy will be full. And fnatic can really punish them right here. You know, you rip one back, send them into economic squalor. At that point, it is feeling like the game. Again, look at this buy. MP9s alongside of a couple of M4s and a UMP for good measure. It's not pretty. And when you tend to have a purchase like this, you want to do something more outside of the box. How are you meant to defend the A bomb site with MP9s? I know we've got one in Breno's hand and one in Henny's of the M4 variety, but you can't be strong everywhere.
A wise man once said. Chad Birchall, 2023. Breno's taken the M4 straight into nicoodoz scopes, and he's done. He's evacuated himself with the extinguish and goes straight forward, giving up the AWP. I do like it.
Yeah.
I like the intent.
Got some pizzazz.
Yeah, no doubt about it, but it does concede that what felt like a very condemning advantage.
And an AWP available for Henny now. Let's see how much damage he can do.
For 300, Alex. Ooh. Ooh. Can't wait for the VOD review for that one. nicoodoz is already aware of how that's going to go.
Yeah, sorry, boss. I was sitting on a bit of a heater. I had 22 kills.
I hit a shot. I hit a banger.
I just thought I was going to close the game. Samuelson just sitting there shaking his head. Keita, disbelief. Scoreline 16-14 in favor of MIBR. Heartbreak all around.
Stop.
Well, now they can defend MIBR, and you can see they've taken more of a passive stance here. Still a whole bunch of utility to boot on both sides of the server.
The dialogue has fully shifted, hasn't it? From that opening exchange and from the run out of spawn to now, we find ourselves at 40 seconds. The crane one way's down. That's going to rot another 20 off the clock.
It might even force them into the AWP, which is currently over towards short. And if that is the case, Henny should be good for at least 1. I know he's only got 7 kills.
nicoodoz biting through his nails as this one plays out. Oh, good molly. Awkward as a hell for fnatic now. It feels just like the last. 20 seconds, having a go. That's the difference maker, though. Roy has enabled access through the ramp. You don't have to go into that deadly AWP. Henny will be pressured from both sides eventually. As he fires off a shot, looks the wrong way. Now they've neutralized the threat and can build into a plant. Just enough time on the clock. Sweat off the brow now, he says with bated breath. Turtle catches Fasher off of that plant. Exit trying to set him up for something more, but he doesn't really have the weapon for this. Neither of them do. Changes that now with the AK. KRIMZ on his next sweep's going to have contact. Oh, lives on. Turtle swings out, does go down. KRIMZ and mezii playing it to perfection. Oof, lives out. A little tag to the kneecap, but Exit will have to, well, leave.
Yeah, get on out of here. Backing off, hightailing it. KRIMZ might go down here. No, we'll survive just on 4 points of health. So handled there, even though nicoodoz got a little bit crazy. Look, we respected it, because if he got the second, we're like, nicoodoz, he's pushed through. Yeah, but you can't always be flashy, but this one was great. Really good shot there. As the flashbang comes through, but this is even better from Roy. That is an important kill. He doesn't get that frag onto Insani. They probably don't win the round. So the key there for Roy to close shop and condemn MIBR now.
And you put the shoe on the other foot for a second. MIBR felt like they really just got given a gift and didn't quite profit.
It doesn't get any easier from this point forward. Fasher flash through their own smoke. Takes the initial duel. Very standard operating procedure here for your B defaulter. would clear. Next option would be to get the H's in towards the white box, soften anybody up, trying to get cheeky with that close angle, and then you can start working on a couple of boosts. And speaking of boosts, we've got one going over towards A right now. Exits AK towering over the A ramp here, hoping to find a pick, but as we can see, not a whole lot coming his way just yet. Very, very reserved. And both Fnatic players down in forklift room playing on the left side. So if they get walked on, you know, they can play off of each other here. Then not the easiest of clears. And up they creep. So maybe the boost will come into play.
How good is your clear? If any can operate as a distraction with damage or sound or anything like that.
What? That was a 6 damage dink.
Sick. Straight through the steel beam.
Yeah, you can keep that one, I think.
He's stubborn. I like it. It's even more threatening now. Henny's got 2 on a P250. No armor, a $300 pistol, and 2 frags. Fasha, he's not going to clear his quad. Oh, that could have been the round right there. With such low HP, he's done enough to at least distract and do damage. Pressure now for KRIMZ. Hitting shots, takes down Insani, as does mezii onto Henny. Leaves exit. They don't know if they want to contest this. Fake! KRIMZ takes the fight! Oh, the ball's on these boys! Yikes! Low HP, under scrutiny, you got 10 seconds.
Keeping it entertaining, aren't they?
Sheesh.
That one got very, very close, and thanks to this man on your screen right here, Henny with 2 big P250 kills to try and open the account. The problem was, Exit also shot with the AK on the boost. At that point, oh, there's at least 3 here. Let's get the hell out and on towards that B bomb site. And you look at this, as they peel into the site, the player at quad just gets the dink, doesn't get the kill done, and that one's going to sting. Another round that was so, so close for MIBR.
Henny, down and out. That is suboptimal for MIBR. They're at the stages of the last stages of this MIBR map. A threatening T side, but starting to really run out of answers here on the defense.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if they don't take a risk or find a frag, it's Insani now up to 17.
Just taking duels everywhere across the map. Reno down, Roy on a walkabout. Ready for this duel as well. He's playing it so well, but Insani is too. 97 in 3.
That's a nice lineup. But that's got to be it. I don't know how you can have the discussion, should we give this retake a go? On the other side, it's probably a chat about trying to get stuck in for the hunt here. 15. Guaranteed as recycling done by Insani. Now will find himself an AK-47, a Molotov for good measure, and hope that he can hold on to all of this. But it will need to be 4 consecutive rounds for the Brazilians to take this just to overtime here. And remember, this is MIBR's map choice. Coming up next, we do have Overpass, and following that will be Inferno as the third and decider if we need to get there. But Fnatic look very, very good on a map like Overpass, so this is a bit bleak for MIBR. And a close game over there.
Holy moly.
Yeah, on the B stream as well. So, was a discussion to be had about IHC's style against that of Furia? Oh dear.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow, okay. A bit of an upset right there on map number 1. That was IHC's choice, and they should feel great about that. We spoke about Survival today and leaving a mark. Survival yesterday and leaving a mark today. And looks like they've already started with a big slap across the face of Furia. Wake-up call.
You got a point to Roy as well. The fact that his crosshair was pre-aimed the sandbags angle as opposed to Crane, he seemed to have some sort of intuition, informed or otherwise. Four rounds required in consecutive fashion. Reno, despite that silencer, punished for his spray into that smoke. Roy seems to be a bit of a demon here on the crawl. nicoodoz as well, top of the scoreboard, partnered up with KRIMZ. Didn't like the way that mid-crawl went last round.
Very reserved from Exit here. They don't really have a whole lot of information as to what's possible. He just has to try and gauge this on a timing. Eventually, he can get a little bit of support here, most likely from Insani, who looks like he's playing that A rotator role right now. See him dropping out that sandbag one way once more. That'll keep fnatic at bay at the A ramp until about that 40-second mark, sure. And now they've set up more of a crossfire towards middle. So Exit can now draw his attention over towards B alongside of Turtle. But you can see it doesn't even look like fnatic have made up their mind just yet. 40 seconds left, the late round. Sure, we've had some close situations, but they've been able to get through unscathed. And now back towards A. This gamble stack, they've completely evacuated the A bomb site. There is nobody playing in a forward position for MIBR here. It's retake with one molly.
And the utility will start to plume. Vision denied. 10 seconds. A denial here. Unlikely. They are going for an exposed plant spot though. Tie in the corner. Round could end if one more bullet found mezii. It doesn't. Retakes on. MIBR with a double. On the way in. fnatic. Off kilter. Still can count on nicoodoz. It's set up on the sandbags to do some damage. And so can fasha. Actively contesting. They want to take this duel. They want to take it in unison though. Oh, and they all fall. Advantage just disintegrating for MIBR. Shot after shot. Only Exit can save them now. Maybe Henny straight through the boards. KRIMZ with the wallbang. And fnatic take Vertigo with style, with pizzazz, and with a stalwart attitude, keeping it cool. fnatic one map up in this series and one map away from that group stage.
Fantastic finish right here, and guess what? You can see Banks already trying to pick up somebody for a bit of an interview. nicoodoz, top fragger, maybe. That'll be Banks' choice. With the AWP, the desk wanted to see him lift his game. Wow, he got it done with the orb, he got it done with the rifle, got it done with a bit of flair. fnatic across the line, 16-11. Let's throw it down to Banks.
Good time to get in your...